Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of idoworkherelady. In today's episode, pay no attention to the pink sparkly wristband. No, you didn't make a reservation with me. Dense supervisor. I guess I look like a customer. I know we don't carry that because I do the ordering. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Pay no attention to the pink sparkly wristband. This happened in 2015. I was managing the hotel packages for Aftershock as well as several other music festivals. In addition to working with the hotels to make sure everyone has a room with fluffy pillows etc., the job involves distributing tickets, wristbands, swag, merch vouchers etc. Also, lots of questions via text and email. Because I interface with the fans, my email and phone number were at the bottom of the festival website. In fact, my number was the only one listed on the site, and my email was one of only 3 listed. This often caused me grief because I got all sorts of crazy questions that had nothing to do with my job. Many of them had nothing to do with anything festival related at all. The cool thing about this job was that my work is always 80 to 95% done by the time the show starts, so I was free to enjoy the festival. This particular year we went from lanyards to cloth wristbands for our credentials, which allowed us to go into production areas and backstage etc. Fans got bands that said general admission or VIP, vendors got ones that said vendor. Same for guests, media, production staff etc. Well, they ran out of the nice cloth production wristbands, so they gave me a volunteer wristband. It was plastic, pink and sparkly, and I didn't really care, because it got me everywhere I needed or wanted to be just like anyone else working the show. Well, Sunday night comes and I'm hanging out with some friends who work the box office, and they asked if I was heading to production, and would I mind taking this huge stack of tickets and merch vouchers back there. I agreed and stuffed about $250,000 worth of paper into my backpack and headed that way. Well, when the headliners go on, we pretty much lock down the entrances to backstage. If you're all ready and you can stay. Production staff, artists etc. are allowed in, but not the bearers of the pink sparkly volunteer wristbands. So I'm at the entrance to the backstage area and the guard is like, you can't go in there. I'm trying to tell him that I'm working the show and I absolutely have to get this stuff back to the production office. He's not having it because I'm obviously just a pink sparkly volunteer trying to get backstage to meet Slipknot or something. So I pull out my phone and I'm calling coworkers trying to get someone to meet me to pick up the tickets and stuff, but they aren't answering. The guard is cool, but he has his orders, so I wasn't mad at him. He said if you can get someone on the phone, and I can verify that they work for Aftershock, I'll let you in. Then it hits me. I asked if he had a smartphone with him. He did, but he wasn't eager to pull it out when he was supposed to be working, so I pulled out my personal phone and went to the Aftershock website and handed it to him. I had him scroll down and find the only phone number on the page and asked him to call it and ask them if they can authorize me to get backstage. He calls the number and the business phone in my other pocket rings. I answered and said, you can let that guy in. The look on his face was priceless. I asked if he was satisfied and he wasn't sure what to say, so I offered double of nothing. I said, if you scroll down to the email address that says at presence, come, I can send you a response so you won't get in trouble for letting me in. He waved me through. Later I brought him a Monster Energy drink and some festival swag and thanked him for doing his job so well and being professional. No, you didn't make a reservation with me. This happened a while ago. I used to work at a restaurant where it required reservation for teppanyaki, where they cook in front of you. I was a hostess and in charge of making reservations, answering phones. I am very thorough, I don't like not knowing what's going on and trusting my word, and everyone else knew that. Me, thank you for calling blah blah. Lady, who am I talking to? Me, Sapporo babe. Lady, yes, hi. I made a reservation for teppanyaki at 4, was told to be here 15 minutes early, have never told anyone that, just informing that we're here. Name is Lady. Me, checks paper with current day of reservations. Checks book of reservations. Checks next week date of reservations. I'm sorry, I can't seem to locate your name. Can you tell me when you made the reservation? Lady, already exasperated and pissy. I knew this would happen. You guys always misplace my reservations, but that's why I wrote it down on a piece of paper that proves I made the reservation. I made it for today at this time for 4 people. I made it Monday. Me, already having a long day with a no-show host on a busy day with clients staring at me waiting to be seated, and the other phone on hold. Listen, we write down all the reservations twice and call to confirm the day of, and we triple check everything. When did you make the reservation? Lady, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Maybe if you learned how to do your job you wouldn't have lost my reservation, but I made it on Monday at around 11. Me, I know how to do my job, I do it every day. Do you happen to remember who you were speaking to, a boy or a girl? At this point, that's a trick question that I always asked in these situations. There's no male host. But it didn't matter. Lady, with you. I have written down in my paper it was with you, Sapra babe. That's why I ask who I am speaking to, and that's how I know you didn't write down that reservation, and that's how I know you don't know how to do your job. Let me speak to your manager. Me, lady, I didn't even work that day. You didn't make a reservation, you're lying, and you're using me as your fall guy. Lady, oh. Well, who was working that day? Me, why so you can pin the blame on her too? I thought your little paper had all the information. This is a very small version of what happened. The interaction was much longer, and early on I had told her we had space for her group anyway, but she was adamant on getting me in trouble, and that's why I blew up and yelled at her. I didn't get in trouble, like I said I was trusted. The manager was more focused on bettering my mood since having a foul mood host is bad. Dense Supervisor. The backstory: the year is 2003, and the mighty Kmart still stands. Friend got me the job of being a highly touted utility associate aka cart pusher for the summer. Easy job, working with other kids my age goofing off while getting carts. However, the manager decided our supervisor would be some B*TCH from customer service. As soon as this was announced, she would order us around for no reason, making us less efficient. Luckily, she had duties inside the store and only bothered us half the time. The event: a huge storm ripped through the area. Power outages, trees down, the whole shebang. I was off that day, but it was payday. Storm damage B, I'm getting my check. What they were operating, without power, was customers would walk to the entrance, tell them what utens they need, and an associate would run through the dark store getting the items like some demented, dangerous treasure hunt. I get there and walk through the doors. Manager was at the front, and at least SHE knew who I was, and why I was there. I head to the customer service desk and hear that woman's voice, Ms. All-Powerful Supervisor, behind me. Excuse me. Sir. I keep walking. She not talking to me surely. Sir. Excuse me. Sir, stop. I turn to face her, thinking she realize her mistake. You vacant be in here. You'll have to wait outside to get your items. I stare at her in disbelief for a minute. No recognition on her face. No, I'm getting. You have to wait outside. The inside of the store is closed to customers. I work here. You're my supervisor. Are you kidding me? I'm getting my paycheck. Leave me alone. I get my check, leaving the store as she gives me a death glare. Thankfully, I didn't stay long after the summer. Job started to *CK as the cool people left, and I had to work with Troy, the 38-year-old Kmart lifer. I guess I look like a customer. Happened a few hours ago, and it's short and sweet. Some quick backstory: when I first started at my company, we were half remote and half in office. This transition to having the option to come into the office whenever, but working from home is completely fine. I typically go into the office about once a month to see everyone in person and grab lunch with them. We have to scan our work badges to get in, important for later. We also don't have a dress code, so I usually wear casual clothes, hoodie, jeans, and tennis shoes. We just started doing pickup orders again for local customers instead of just shipping to everyone recently. It's my boss's and a coworker's birthdays this week, and we like to get everyone a card and make a dessert for their birthday. I brought in some treats for everyone, along with some drinks and cups. Instead of lugging it all in bags, I put everything in a box. I slung my laptop bag over my shoulder, grabbed my work badge to be ready to scan in, and picked up the box. Our customer service team also does pickup orders, and one of them came over to let me in. CS, are you here to drop something off or pick anything up? Me, no, I work here, haha. I just rarely come in. CS, laughs, oh yeah. I think I've seen you before, notices that I in fact have a laptop shoulder bag and the box is labeled with another company's name that is completely different than our industry. Me, yeah, sorry for any confusion, but thank you for letting me in. I really should go into the office more often so that they recognize me easier, lol. I know we don't carry that because I do the ordering. So, I was just reminded of this interaction I had about 2 years ago after talking about something similar that just happened to a coworker of mine. I used to work in a grocery retailer that rhymes with Mafeway/Balbertsons. At this place, I worked in the coffee kiosk, Buckstars, that was another large retailer. Not too important, but I was there every single day. Basically from opening until closing. We were extremely short-staffed, 3 baristas including me, and the other 2 were so unreliable they may as well have not showed up at all, sometimes they didn't. And if you're wondering why I was the one to cover all of their screws UPS, it was because I was the supervisor/manager. It was my responsibility to cover any call-outs/no-shows. Needless to say, I knew my sh*t and was basically a one-person show. Well, one day I was working a 13-hour shift, and the day had already started off really rough. I had been called a dumbass for trying to ring up someone's personal cup because it looked unused and had the barcode still on it, and I had another woman try to accuse me of poisoning her coffee. She was not in her right mind, but I've dealt with her before. So I was already done with the day, and my shift was only halfway over. Well, I'm standing at the counter with my ordering guide, ironically enough as you'll see in a minute, sitting in front of me while I pace back and forth to see what supplies we have and which are needed. I haven't even made it to the floor merchandise when I hear the very common and very frustrating call. RB, excuse me? I look up and see Rude B *TCH, RB, standing at one of the displays out on the floor. This one held all about coffee beans and instant coffee packets, as well as a couple of French presses. Now, it's probably safe to note that I am a very positive person outwardly. I have my struggles, but I never make those outwardly known, meaning I will always pitch positivity to people because I am a firm believer in the saying if you go into something with a negative perspective, all you're going to find is more negativity. Anyway, I respond. Me, hi. What can I help you with today? Are you looking for something in par dash? RB, where the F and caret K are you instant cold brews? Me, taken aback by the force and anger in her words. Oh. Well, we actually don't carry those at our location. RB, well, that's a $king lie because I bought them here last week. Me, well, did you possibly buy them somewhere else? Beck dash. RB, no. I bought them here. Asterisk at this point, she seemed to, very quickly, begin acting unhinged. I was kind of scared, not going to lie, star. Me, ma'am, I promise you we don't dash. RB, I bought them here last week. Where the hell in your manager? I swallowed back the lump in my throat as I tried to hold back tears in my eyes. I cry at confrontation very easily and am quite sensitive. Looking back, I definitely was not the type of person who should take on a managerial role, but I was desperate for the money and experience. Me, I am the manager, ma'am. I'm the supervisor of the bar. She swears some more and then demands the store director. Luckily enough, he was actually in the bakery nearby, so he heard the commotion and was already on his way over. As I was walking towards the phone to page him over the intercom, he rounded the corner and stood at the end of the bar next to the lady. As a quick mention, I'd like to note that my store director was a very large, kind, and soft-hearted man. He was the father figure every kid dreamed of. Basically a 6'6" teddy bear. SD, everything alright over here? RB, your supervisor over here apparently doesn't know how to place orders. I am looking for cold brew instant packets, and she claims you don't sell them. I bought them here last week. My store director looks to me, confused, because this is all foreign to him. Unlike the other departments, he has not a clue about how the coffee bar works, as it is a different company, and therefore we run on Buckstar's ordering system. SD, ma'am, I apologize, but I promise you didnt knows the ordering system much better than I do. There are far too many special tasks in each department in our store for me to know. I trust that my managers and supervisors are the best at what they do. RB scoffs and rolls her eyes, throwing her hands up in exasperation. Before she gets another word out, I direct my attention to SD. Me, SD, I promise you, we have never carried this product. Corporate stores do, but not the kiosks. It's not even an available option in my ordering guide. Here, I can show you. SD looks down at the woman with that look of we're about to end this once and for all before he comes and looks at my ordering guide. Now, admittedly, he had no idea what he was looking for, and he told me so later when we were talking about the incident. He scans the page as I show him exactly where the item would be if it were to be in our guide. SD, ma'am, she's right. There is no spot in her guide that allows for ordering that product. There must be a misunderstanding. Before I can even apologize to the woman, she screeched and stormed off, not saying another word. I heard later that she pulled something similar over in the produce section, and it escalated to the point where she was trespassed off the property. I unfortunately didn't get to witness it because produce was on the exact opposite of the store. Either way, my SD actually let me close the bar down for the rest of the day that day, as he saw just how shaken up I was about the situation.